Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
In the delicate arena of compliance, every conversation matters. Traditional methods can leave callers feeling unheard, but Ethico changes the game. Our empathetic interview technique reshapes compliance calls into powerful, compassionate interactions, ensuring no crucial detail is missed. It's about creating a conversation that matters, that resonates, that makes a difference. Be the change in your compliance approach. See the transformation for yourself at ethico.com/CPN. Book a demo, try our free ROI calculator, and explore the white paper by Tom Fox, The ROI of Compliance.
Daily Compliance News for August 16, 2024, the All Law360 edition. Our first story is the Department of Justice has defended its Boeing deal over the families of the 737 MAX crashes victims' families. In a 49-page brief, the DOJ said that it secures the best benefits the DOJ can get. They really don't go into, they do talk about the government doesn't think it can get a guilty plea. They don't go into how the fine and penalty was calculated, although that was set out in the original underlying agreement per the sentencing guidelines. And they give really short shrift to the monitor suggestions that many have made. So the DOJ basically is saying, we got the best that we could. Trust us. Hopefully we'll get it right this time. Next up, the state of Missouri has been slapped down for its attempt to prevent brokers and financial advisors from discussing ESG with their clients. In what would seem to be about the most common sense solution possible, the rules that the state of Missouri said that financial advisors and brokers couldn't talk about ESG, or obviously just in name, and that, of course, they could talk about those issues around financial investments. Next up, in a piece by a couple of lawyers, Scott McIntyre and Chrissy Kennedy, they talk about the possibility of viral layoffs and how companies can protect themselves in today's viral world when they lay off employees. And it actually starts with some pretty common sense stuff, like treat people with respect and dignity. Don't fire them virtually, and answer their questions when they have them. So companies can really do this right if they just start with the basic premise that soon-to-be ex-employees should be treated with dignity and respect, which they don't seem to understand anymore. Our final story comes to us from a Washington, D.C. judge has disqualified a lawyer representing former Overstock, or current rather, Overstock CEO Patrick Byrne in a defamation case brought against him by Dominion Voting Systems. It is incredibly rare for this to happen. That's how bad his lawyer has been.
As I mentioned at the start of this podcast, this month's sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Have you ever wondered how to show the ROI of your compliance program? Have you struggled with the budgeting process, getting the funds you want for your compliance program? Well, I've partnered with Ethico to put together a white paper on the ROI of compliance, which shows you not only how to demonstrate ROI, but also how to speak finance when you're sitting across from the CFO with your budget proposals. Check out the website and get the white paper.
The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.